Hey YouTube, welcome back to my dank studio. Dank is in super cool and also quite dark. I finally bought some lights and now you can maybe even see me in these videos. And hopefully it's not at like 10 frames per second because the camera's just like struggling to get light. Obviously, I have way too much hair because I have not had a haircut since like February. I don't even remember at this point. Anyway, if you want a lesson with me, check the link in the description. Otherwise, I just wanted to quickly talk about what I've been practicing. I've had so many videos lately. I was even going to make one today, and I was like, really, dude? I've had so many videos about equipment. Look at these, all these slides, and all these mouthpieces, and all these trombones, and all these trombones, and all these trombones. And I'm like, you know what? Let's get back to the pedagogical side just a little bit. Talk about what I've been practicing. The big thing that happened for me recently is I finally got a lesson with Doug Elliott. Yes, the same person who makes the Doug Elliott mouthpieces. Go figure. Same name, same guy. And he's a chop guru. He just kind of knows what he's talking about. He's studied with some of the most famous chop gurus of the past. And just can really help you out in a lot of ways. And I kind of put it off for a long time because I was like, you know what? I'm blazing my own path. I'm going to figure things out myself. And I did honestly figure a lot of things out myself. But I got to a point where I was just kept running into a wall. I kept being super inconsistent. I'd have these great days where everything would work. And I'm like, yes, this is it. I've figured it out. I'm good to go. Now I can just work on music and not have to worry about the just basic fundamentals of having a good chops, you know? And then the next day I would be awful and I couldn't bring it back at all. I had no chance. I was just like, what is happening? This is like my playing 2 years ago even. Just a huge difference. So I finally sucked it up and I just got a lesson. And guess what? Totally worth the money. And of course, it costs money. But one part, I've really been resisting getting lessons because I want to get them in person. And right before coronavirus hit, actually, I was planning on getting like 3 different lessons with local pros in Los Angeles. And then coronavirus hit, and I was like, well, I guess I won't get those lessons because I want to do them in person and not over Zoom or Skype or whatever. But Doug Elliott is one of those people, it's one of those things you can work on where you don't necessarily need to be there in person. It would probably be a little better, but not necessarily like 100% better. When you're working on music or like solo stuff or phrasing, I think it's best to be there in person, really have the person hear how you sound and what you're doing physically and all this stuff. Whereas Doug Elliott can just kind of look at your face while you play, and he's like, no, you need to do this and this. And you're like, oh my God, now I can play everything. And that's pretty much what my lesson was. I don't want to give away what he does because he makes a living doing it. I'm not going to like take money away from him. So I think you should get a lesson from him. I just wanted to impress upon you guys how big of a difference that made for me. There are a lot of schools of thought, like there's the Arnold Jacobs school where it's just like, don't worry about this stuff, man. Just make music. Just feel it, brah. I can't do that. I have to have things in order first so that I can make music. I may have talked about this before. I have like a pyramid, right? And at the very bottom, the base level of that pyramid is like fundamentals and just playing well. And if I can't do that, then all the stuff above it doesn't really matter. The pyramid doesn't exist. And the very top is music, right? And if I don't have the rest of that stuff, me personally, I can't make music. And me personally, listening to other people play, I don't hear people make that very tippy-top music part at a really high level unless they have the rest of that pyramid built. I know I've had some people make comments like, nah, man, it's all about making music, you know, just make great sounds and stuff. I don't necessarily disagree, but I also would say that you need to have the rest of those things or else you can't do the things that you want to do. And having Doug guide me through this process and kind of let me know what I needed to do with my face in certain registers and just simple things like that means that I can make music so much more easily now. Literally, like, sight reading is better, my intonation is better, my slide technique is better, and we did not talk about that at all. My phrasing is better, my musicality is better. Every single little thing that I've been worrying about for so long just got bumped up like 100%. Just because I figured out this stuff, and I haven't even figured it out 100% yet. This is just like one step in this journey. So, what have I been practicing? I've been playing a lot of slurs, like the one that I started with. I've really just trying to connect ranges in a way that I have not been able to do in a healthier, consistent way for a long time. What's another one? I've been doing that one, which is a Lou McCreary slur. He was a Los Angeles freelancer who played tenor and bass trombone, and apparently he would just play that like so fast, and so I don't know, I'm just trying to play it faster and faster. There's some of the Brad Edwards slurs. And I do those too. There's a whole bunch of stuff. I'm probably going to get out that Brad Edwards book at some point. So I'll do that stuff. I'll do slurs. I'll do some articulation stuff. Maybe I do some scales. And I'm doing this on every instrument, by the way. You can't see them, but I have trombone, trombone, euphonium, trombone, 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 trombone. And there's another trombone missing right now, and another trombone being worked on. I think that's it. I'm running out. I think that's it. So I'll go through every single one of these instruments in a random order, and I'll just play slurs on them. And I'll go through different ranges. I'll play high on bass trombone. I'll play low on my 3B. I'll do everything. And I'll do that for a couple hours, and then I put the horns down, and I go eat dinner and work out and stuff. And then I come back, and I work on rep. I'll get out etude books, and I'll play the same. I think I have Tyrell on my stand right now, literally above my phone. And I'll play the same Tyrell on like 4 or 5 different instruments. And I'll play it down an octave on bass trombone, and I'll play it as written on like a bunch of different tenors to see if I can stay consistent and let the horn do the sound that it wants to make. Because not all these horns sound the same. I want them to sound like me, but I want to let the horn kind of dictate its own sound, because your horns are supposed to do different things. They're not, I don't have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't have 6 tenor trombones here right now to all do the same thing. They're to sound slightly different. So I let them do that in my etude practice. I'll get out Bordonis, and I'll just flip to one of the easy Bordonis, like one of the first 20. I'll put on a drone playing the 5th of the key of the piece. So if the key of the piece is C, I'll put on a G in the staff. Super loud. I'll crank it, I'll put in my earplugs, and I'll just play through the etude on every single instrument. And this will take like 50 minutes or an hour. And I'll just dial in intonation, because that's one thing we have to deal with doubling. I talked about that in my masterclass. Every instrument has slightly different slide positions. And you'll find out when playing with the drone, like, oh, I almost always have this tuning slide out just a little too far. You find yourself like, oh, all my first position Ds are always flat. And you're just like, oh, everything works way better right here. Or maybe you have it here and you're like, I have to adjust every single note out a little bit. Oh, maybe I'll just do it right there instead. It'll really inform you to your intonation tendencies. And if you're like me, learning a new instrument like contrabass or alto that has literally new positions, it's invaluable to have that drone keeping you on point, right? I do the drone with a tuner at the same time. So my days pretty much consist of a whole bunch of fundamentals, then I'll come back after a long break, and then I'll do a whole bunch of like etude stuff. I've also got some solos here. I literally haven't even gotten them out yet. But I'm probably going to do that soon and just start working up some solos, working them up to like, you know, maybe a recital level, and I'll play them all at some point. So just want to let you guys know, I'm not only just fussing over all this cool equipment, and man, I have like even more equipment than I did when I got here somehow. But I'm also practicing and getting like 100% better than I was even a month ago. So my recommendations, get a lesson with Doug Elliott if you can, and practice. That's all I got. See you guys next time.